Afternoon all, how are we doing? So I was just in the middle of doing loads of stuff this morning. I was just quickly catching up on the news this morning. Read quite a lot of ECB news. Nothing particularly exciting that I could see. I was just quickly scanning through it before I came on. Yeah, no, nothing exciting. Right, how's everybody doing? Afternoon, Cam. Afternoon, World King and One Top. Explain me scalping strategy, how it works exactly. That's a pretty broad question. Not quite sure how to answer that one. Scalping strategy. I could give you 10,000 scalping strategies. Which one do you want? Morning, Diamond. Afternoon, even. Just a quick update on the DAX trade from this morning. So we had that huge opening range this morning. So I took the ORB short, added, and we didn't really go anywhere. We're just kind of sitting down at the lows here at the minute on this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off. It's a tiny profit. It's hardly worth it, but we're obviously going to get some volatility coming through. So I'm just going to close this manually this morning, this one. Yeah, and then we'll see. If it pushes back up above the opening range, what we're going to do is come up into this resistance. So if we push back up into the opening range, the EA will place that order back on again for the opening range break to the downside. And we will be at potential resistance. So I'd be happy to get in short again, which would basically be a resistance bounce. So that's what I'm going to do with it this afternoon, I think. The chances of it getting up and taking an ORB long are small, to say the least. If it can get back up there, fair play. I'll go long. I don't think it will. That's your high of the day in, I'm pretty sure. So we'll be trading the NASDAQ this afternoon, as usual. Other things I've got, US dollar CAD, I'm going to take one of those off. Or shall I trail it? Let's have a look. That's a hell of a rejection, isn't it? Whoop. Shall I bank it? Yeah, everyone else is long as well. I'm going to bank that one. I'll add it back on again. Just going to stick that in the bank. The EA will re-add that position if it comes back down and does a bounce. Basically, if it comes back down, retests and bounces, I'll add it back on maybe if I get a reversal alert back down in here. If not, it will push and this position will go into profit. So I can't really lose either way. So I might as well bank that. That sticks a little bit more in the bank. Euro Swiss. This thing can't hit my TP. Look. Do I want to bank that? Still got some euro long, haven't I? I'm hedged on the Swiss as well. I'm going to leave that on. And I've got a pound US dollar short in profit. It's not really worth banking yet. So I'll leave the rest of that where it is. Right. DM one. Scalping's easy. Take a trade at the high, close it out in profit when it comes down. Pretty much in a nutshell. There you go. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. Scalping is just luck. Not luck. It's not luck. That's wrong. It's just it's money management. It's risk management to the extreme. Let's lower the time frame. Yeah, I can't. No one's really going to be able to answer that question, World King. Explain scalping. Best thing to do is go and Google it if you want to know what scalping is. Scalping is trading. I don't know. Can't really answer that. Not without a couple of weeks of non-stop talking. Hi Leo, posted a chart in the chat room. Pound CAD. Oh, wrong one. No, don't ruin the NAS. Pound CAD. So pound CAD is a tricky one at the minute. I'm obviously that where we bounced here, and we've got that reversal was after that ADR push. It's kind of a long at the moment from obviously from that perspective, from moving averages, but it's only really a long because the pound's had a bit of a run and the Canadian dollar's been weak with the US. I prefer it short. If we look at the fundamentals on the pound CAD, where are we? Pound CAD. It's a short basically, but it's range bound short. So there's no real advantage either way with it at the moment. You've got no cot positioning on side. Yeah, so the market participants are equally short both of these, pound and the CAD. If you look at the cot report, not on this page, but on the other page, they're both short. And retail, there's nothing at the minute, so there's no sort of short-term advantage to going either way, and the fundamentals are mixed. So I don't really have a bias on it. Obviously, you can see it's been bullish, but then the pound has been bullish since Bailey bailed out Liz Truss. But this is not long-term. This is a pullback, I think, on a much bigger move down with all the pound pairs. So I'd be short on it, really. But up to you. If you want to carry on, if you want to go long on it, go long on it. There's no advantage either way, I don't think. So where we are at the moment, you've got an RSI extension to the downside, so take it long. You can always break even, stop it. But I don't really have a bias on it at the minute. It's a tricky one, the pound CAD. Afternoon, David. Afternoon, Brian. And the other David. Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, not too bad. I fell off the wagon this weekend. I've been doing dry January. I fell off quite hard. It hurt. Carlos, what about pound New Zealand? Pound New Zealand is a massive short at the minute. But you kind of missed it. If you look at retail on it, pound New Zealand, at the moment, they are massively long, 82% long. You want to be shorting it. Hence today. So we got an ADR today on pound New Zealand. We'll go through the ADRs in a second. So yeah, that was a lovely short today. Been a lovely short since Thursday. And I would continue to short it. It's a massive sell, massive sell. COT's on the side, retail's on the side. Fundamentals are pointing south. New Zealand is doing very well. Pound is not. So I would be shorting that, looking for short entries. Get in now. Lovely ADR bounce on that one today. But this is only my view on the pound New Zealand is a massive short. 2 hours ago, it was a lovely ADR bounce. Which way do you want to trade? Are you trading hourly? Are you trading M5? Go anyway with that one, really. Afternoon, Frank. Up 31 pips on Aussie US so far. Short, obviously. Should be really about 30 odd, but depends whether you got the reversal out on M5 or M15. If you took the M15 one, yeah, about 30 odd. Very good. Sancho, how are we looking on CAD Swiss? I'll look at your question in a second, David. CAD Swiss. Let me just check what's going on with the NAS. So the NAS is open. So far, big 5-minute candle, as it always is at the open. CAD Swiss. So yeah, CAD Swiss I'm short at the moment. This is a sentiment trade from Friday. We are still massively long on the CAD Swiss. So this is purely a sentiment trade that I took. So I'm just waiting for them to start a new leg down, basically, at the moment. But I've shorted it here. And we're just a couple of days pullback at the moment. So we're just running into resistance, not quite there yet. So anything around ADR today would be a good short. So you got this support there. If we get there, if we might not put in a new high. So this is the high of last Wednesday. That's high of the week last week, which is 125. So anything around 100 to 125, we're looking for shorts. I'm already in it, so I will take another position on that this afternoon if it continues to push. Although, what's the ADR on this? 32 is a half. So it needs to sweep this high, basically. So I'm not going to get in again unless we get up to sort of, 125. Might get in on an ADR bounce, depending on how tight it is. So your 5-minute opening range is in on the NASDAQ. This is your 10. David, quick question on the set file you have in MQL5. Out of curiosity, is your TP 1 ADR or a certain set price? I don't copy trade it, but do position trade and run on H4 and M15. Depends which set file you're talking about. So all the set files, I don't know if I've got them in here. Yeah, I got GUM15. So, I mean, I don't use a TP, but the set files up there, I think we're using a TP of 1 ADR. So, yeah, closing out at 1 ADR or £25, whichever is closest. And this was on a $1,000 account. So this is 0.25%. So it's designed to get out either with a 0.25% profit or with 1 ADR, whichever comes first. Oh, the one that's up 140% since December, that's set file. So that's H1M15. So that is the same thing, basically. I'll tell you what it is. Let's have a look at the VPS, and I'll show you the thing in action. This is it. So this is the signal. So this is running. It's targeting $100 or half an ADR. So basically, what it does is it banks every time it gets to $100, it banks. Okay, so if you get in, if the EA gets in, and it basically scales in. If it gets into 2 or 3 positions, basically, it will get to $100 and then bank it. If it gets into deeper drawdown, it needs to take 5 or 6 or more positions. The chances are it will actually hit half an ADR first. Or is that right? No, maybe it's the other way around. It might be the other way around, actually. But basically, it just continuously banks $100, basically. That's all it does. That. Let's look at the P&L. Look. So $100, $100, $200, $400, $100. So basically, depending on how many trades close out each day, it will either bank $100 or it will bank $300 if 3 positions close at the same day. So that's all it's doing. $100 it's going for. Again, it's 0.5% because it's a 20K account. So it's targeting $100, which is 0.5%. Is that right? No. My brain. I don't do math in the afternoons. Right. So it was a 10K account. It was a 10K account. It's up 30K. It's now up to 49. So it was a 10K account. It's targeting 1% profit. Sorry, 1%. It's such a long time since I set that up. I haven't. I can't remember what it was doing. But it's the H1M5 set file, basically. Right, NASDAQ 15-minute opening range is about to go in 4 minutes. So there's your 10-minute opening range there. So if you're using the 5, 10, 15 set file for the opening range breakout, you'd have taken your 5. You'd have just got into your second entry on the 10-minute. I'm trading the 15 at the moment. Let me just see. Let's take trailers off. Actually, I might leave trailers on actually and just use a 40 point because it's quite a big range this afternoon. Yeah, it was 70 point range again. Another big range today. DAX is still just sitting down at those lows. Right. Afternoon, Sagar. So let's have a look at do I want to close any more out? I'm just trying the idea of closing. I'm not sure about this Euro Swiss. It's still going at the moment. I hate being hedged. And the reason I'm thinking of closing this is because if CAD Swiss starts to come down, it might be on a Swiss franc pop. Even if the Swiss franc pops, obviously Euro Swiss is going to come down and I'm going to lose that position. Hate being hedged. Half an ADR. It's a long way to go. Sorry, bear with me a sec. Got loads of room to the upside though, haven't we? Oh, I'm just going to leave it. It's only one position. I'll get back in again, can't I? If it goes into drawdown, it goes into drawdown. Right, so ADRs today. We've got a few ADRs to look at. Euro pound is what I'm already on. So Euro pound popped up, hit ADR, came straight off ADR here. Look at that lovely M pattern. And then Next leg down. So that was a absolute textbook market reversal alert. Look at that. So we had the lovely M pattern, which gave you the reversal alert, and then the retest. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's the screenshot you want to take and go, hey, look at this is what a market reversal alert is. That's exactly what one should look like. So that's pushed down. Obviously, euro pound, I am long on it at the moment because sentiment wise, cot wise, fundamental wise, it's a long. Euro should be beating the pound. So I'm long on that one. So it's an ADR reversal, obviously, if you wanted to take it, but it's come straight down into support, and it's holding up well at support. So not the best one. I wouldn't have shorted that one today. I'm the opposite way on it. But pound odd, beautiful ADR again, wrong way. I'm that way. So lovely again. W pattern, reversal alert, retest arrow, 2 legs up into resistance, bouncing off. So that was a good one. That came off of 125. Pound CAD was another one this morning. It hasn't gone anywhere, pound CAD. We've had a bit of strength on the Canadian dollar. This one hasn't actually managed to get anywhere. Again, don't really want to be pound CAD. It's same long and short, basically, from a retail perspective. And it's a slight negative bias. Nothing on COT, nothing on retail. So it's range bound. You can take it either way, but I'm steering clear of anything range bound, really. There's lots of other stuff out there that's going to be much stronger. Pound New Zealand, same sort of thing as the pound odd. Yeah, so exactly the same, pretty much, as the pound odd. Yeah, these are the same pair. If you're going to trade the pound against an Australasian pair or the US against an Australasian pair, pick one or the other. Don't pick both because you're just doubling up. Afternoon, Luke. Your exposure, you're just doubling your exposure if you get on the odd and the New Zealand at the same time. Pound US dollar, we're at ADR at the moment. I am short this. So again, don't really want to be getting in. Sorry, that one. Pound US dollar, it's the biggest sell out there at the moment. Don't really want to be getting in long on it. It's a short, so I'm short, and we are down at ADR. I was toying with the idea of taking this one off. As I said, I'm going to leave it for the moment. I'm not convinced we're going to get too much further on this one. So we are down at support. As you can see, the limit orders all triggered as soon as we hit it, and the limit orders are still triggering. So push up into propulsion gap, I suspect, unless we really, really get a nice strong US dollar at the open. But as you can see from the NASDAQ, it's pumping. So that indicates a weak US dollar. There's your opening range. That's a 15-minute opening range in. 787. Look at that. Another massive opening range. So I'm long one. Another big opening range today. ADR has just been hit on gold. So gold just triggered as well. So again, gold sentiment. I've put the gold sentiment on here. I don't trade gold. It's ever so slightly short biased at the moment, so you'd be looking for longs. So potentially where we are, not bad to get into a long position. So if you have a look at what we've got, you got a propulsion gap there. It's not actually a very good propulsion gap, so I'd kind of ignore that. ADR is just not anywhere you really want to take a trade today, is it? 150 ADR is would be a very nice reversal if it can get down there. If we get a strong US dollar. Let's just have a quick look at the Dow, because we've got divergence. Look at this Dow. This is happening almost every day now. Huge move down on the Dow. Huge move up on the NASDAQ. Complete divergence. Complete divergence between the indices. And typically we do find, don't we, the Dow is the one that is usually ahead of the game. So this NAS might be a false breakout, but we'll see. If the Dow pushes up and makes a new high, then obviously the NASDAQ's just going to go through the roof today. So It's just a shame it's such a massive opening range today. Wow, really different. We'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, so there's your ADRs. Plenty of ADRs today. Well, I say there's a few ADRs today. Nothing particularly exciting. Just wanted to quickly check historical retail sentiment just to see if it's updated. I think I've fixed the problem. 157. Yeah, that is updated. That's good. I think I've fixed the problem with the date disappearing on the retail historical retail sentiment. I had the date format back to front in the table, so hopefully that's fixed that. Right, but I'll keep an eye on that. So there's your ADRs. RSIs, pretty much the same as this morning with the RSIs at the moment. So anything yen based, good luck. I really haven't got a clue what to do with this yen. I still haven't got a clue what to do with it. We're coming up to a lovely resistance at the moment, though, on this. Let's take that high there. So ADR today on New Zealand dollar yen is going to be a quadruple top in this propulsion gap. But look at the propulsion break on this and how far there is to go. It's almost an ADR on from here. So I really like the idea of shorting everything against the yen at the moment. So this could potentially be a nice little short entry. It's nicely extended on the 4 hour. I'm just still a little bit wary. If you look at it on the hourly, again, extended and embedded. We've been embedded since the middle of Friday, basically since London. Hasn't managed to stop. As I say, New Zealand dollar is very, very strong at the moment. So, yeah, kind of like that one as a short, potentially. However, I'd like it more up here. So that would be a nice area, I think, to get in short on this one. It'd be very, very nicely extended across multiple timeframes on the RSI. And obviously, if we can get an ADR hit, even better for a nice quick short. Oil is extended on the hourly just about. So we looked at this one this morning. I couldn't get in. I missed this entry here. This wasn't deep enough for me to get in yesterday. I wanted it, last week. I wanted it further down. It just didn't get deep enough. We've extended at resistance and it's had a nice little limit order reaction. But I think there's a good chance it will just continue to push out the upside and keep going long. So it's not really an RSI extension I'd be interested in taking. We got some other yens in there as well, but I'll run through the hourlies. Pound CAD, nicely extended to the downside. So sentiment-wise on this one, we're looking oh yeah, this is one we just looked at, isn't it? It's not really either. So that's your ADR, pound CAD. So that's why that's extended to the downside. Pound odd, 125. We've looked at this one. This was an ADR extension as well. Not one that I would want to take. Euro yen. So again, that's pushing nicely. So we've managed to get out the highs on the euro yen. We looked at this one in the London session this morning. We've pushed out the highs and pulled back, pushed up again. So basically, we are literally just inside bars on the initial move that we got this morning at the beginning of the London session. So we haven't gone anywhere today. So again, still have no clue where this thing is going. I'd be wary about shorting the euro or the New Zealand really against the yen at the moment. They're both strong, the euro and the New Zealand. Best pair to trade at the moment against the yen as a short is going to be the pound, obviously. So the pound is the one you really want to be going short on against the yen because it's the weakest of the lot. And that's the one that is not setting up at all, unfortunately, at the moment. 61.8, so it's not far away on the hourly. And it's up at lovely resistance, but it's just nothing really ripe, is there, at the moment? CAD yen, again, pushing up. Weak yen, I want to see it up at these highs, really. But again, Canadian dollar, not... Well, actually, to be honest, that's at the moment, US dollar or the Canadian dollar. I wouldn't mind shorting, actually. But that is nicely extended. So if you look at the propulsion move on the hourly, we got out with that candle. This candle didn't make it. So that's not really one that I would pay much attention to. As I said this morning, these propulsion gaps that we've got on the yen aren't really valid because they are literally just that being undone. So this is not an accumulation break. This is just part of a V-shaped recovery, or A-shaped recovery in this case. So yeah, nothing particularly interested on that one. CAD Swiss, I'm obviously short already. Looking for this to come up to ADR today. If we get up to ADR, be another nice looking short. This is massively short. Bias. Yeah, the entire world and his wife is long the CAD Swiss at the moment. So all the liquidity on the CAD Swiss is here. This is where they're coming. All the money's down there. There's a load of money also, which, to be honest, actually is not any money really sitting there. That's the open. Probably some there, which is just before this accumulation. Won't be any there unless somebody's taken them along at the open, which is unlikely. So there. So there's two areas basically to concentrate on. Intraday today, there's a chance that we could get down there by end of day. Target for this week will be coming all the way back down to those lows. 4 hour, we're not quite extended yet. And basically, I think this is probably just a leg up in the move down. Weak Swiss franc basically is what's driving this. The problem we have with the Swiss franc at the moment is with the Swiss National Bank losing all of that money, it's still unclear as to whether this is going to fundamentally affect the Swiss franc moving forward. If so, there is a possibility this king could keep going. I really, no one knows. There's nobody that's got the answer to this question because the Swiss National Bank has never lost that much money in 116 years. So no one on this planet right now alive has an inkling as to whether or not this is going to fundamentally affect the Swissy. So we have to wait and see. But I think pushing is less likely, but we will see. So yeah, we got that one, CAD Swiss. I like that. I'm in short already. Aussie dollar yen we looked at this morning. Again, big extension on the hourly, embedded. Again, same thing. That's really all I would be looking at. Aussie dollar is not particularly strong at the moment either, so potentially there's a good opportunity for that to come down. I'd rather be doing that than I would the New Zealand, because the New Zealand is very strong at the moment. And then Aussie dollar Swiss as well, same thing. Swiss bank, Swiss franc is weak off that move. So any of these Swissies that are extended are pretty good looking shorts. The question is, are we going to come and retest? At the moment, so far, doesn't look like we are, does it? So if you want to get in short on this, limit order under that hourly candle, or just take the M5 reversal alert, which you've already had, which was there. And the retest. So there's your M pattern. Reversal, new low. So market structure shifted to the downside. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Actually, I wouldn't ignore that. Like I said, liquidity is going to be sitting there. Anybody that longed from London, all the liquidity sitting there on the CAD Swiss. So that's a rundown of that lot. DAX, we're off to the races. Profit's already locked in on this. That's nice. Can't lose. That's what I like to see. I hate it when it goes this fast, this hard. Just, it's coming back. And it's going to stop me out. What I might do, actually, I might just move my stop down there just to break even. I'd rather not sit inside this propulsion gap because there's a high probability they're going to test that area if we're going to go long today. We'll see. So that's a rundown of all the pairs. If there's anything you want to look at specifically, let me know. Got nothing to bank there. Euro pound has just gone absolutely nowhere. I took one off this morning, didn't I, actually? Yeah. So I took that one off this morning, got out perfect on that. Look. Again, I posted, no, I haven't actually posted, have I? I'm thinking, you're going to get bombarded, by the way, now. If you're following me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or you're in the Telegram group, I've scheduled 30 posts to go out every single day over the next month, and they're going to be repeated every month. So one of the posts I put out was how to use ADR for this exact purpose. So the reason I exited this trade was because of an ADR hit. Yeah. So there's one of the posts that is going out is how to use ADR. You can use it either as an entry or, in this case, as an exit. So if we hit ADR, we know price is exhausted and likely to pull back, so we get out there. So that's how I timed the exit on that position almost perfectly, because we're ADR. So yeah, I don't know when that's going out. Sometime in the next month. I've been so busy this morning. Social media. I'm dragging myself kicking and screaming into the social media era. I keep getting told off for not doing enough marketing on the indicators and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see. Yeah, so euro pound, I'm long. So this trade that I took off this morning, obviously, if this pushes down again, I will get in again. Long. So it will need to push down quite a bit, obviously. It needs to come down at a minimum of 30 pips from my last position. So it needs to be somewhere around the open from today. We've got a few ADR, RSIs just gone off. Aussie New Zealand on the hourly. Just about extended on RSI, not great. Pound US, oops. So that's now just about extended. Again, ADR hit on that. I really want to get out. I'm really toying with the idea of exiting this just to put it in the bank, really. This looks like a pullback to me. It's just not a lot of money. I just hate seeing it all go back to naught, that's all. I'm going to close it. I'm just closing that one out. Might as well. I'll add it back on. If it comes down, that's fine, because this one goes into profit, so I don't really care. Might as well bank it. It's just ADR, I just don't, it's also support. It's not just ADR, it's support as well. The next target is 125 ADR. And then we're going to hit more support, which is also actually a resistance too. Yeah, my break-even line pretty much acting as that resistance. So we've got resistance, which if that doesn't work as support, highly likely that will, or this area here. So this whole zone here is all supportive. So it's not really worth chancing that position and holding it for a quarter of an ADR. I might as well bank that. And if it goes down, that's fine. I don't care. All good. If it comes up, though, it's just another 0.1% I've banked, which all adds up at the end of the day, doesn't it? US dollar yen. So that's hit RSI to the upside. Again, it's taking out these highs from Friday at the moment. Almost ADR. But this is, when you get this sort of move, this sort of A-shaped recovery move in a day, which is 400% ADR in total, that move, it's very, very difficult, after you've seen something that is that parabolic in both directions to get in until that area is exceeded, because there is literally, you can flip a coin from here. It could go up or down. There's nothing to tell you anywhere where we should be going. You would anticipate that they're going to head for the highs. But if you got in short on that candle there in that 1 hour, you've got liquidity there. If you added on the way down here, you're out. Don't forget, this is a 200 ADR move, 200% ADR move. If you didn't get out on that, you're mad. So I don't think there's a lot sitting up here, which is why if you look at the other pairs that have hit that level, like New Zealand dollar yen, no, sorry, pound yen, we got very little price action when we hit there. So we hit it, tapped through it, and then the next hour we just did that, and then they ran off. So basically there's no liquidity there. Nothing much happened. There wasn't 100 limit orders triggered either. You know, it's not you know, what we expect to see when we get to that sort of thing is a push up into it and immediately a pullback as limit orders are triggering, or a pop through and then a pullback because all the liquidity stops got ran, so it popped and then it pulled back fast. We didn't get any of that in that candle. It's just not, it's not a level. It's a knee-jerk reaction to the Bank of Japan's monetary policy, and then the market going, actually that was stupid, and just undoing the whole thing, isn't it? So it's a fake move. It's just a load of rubbish. Nasdaq, I have just entered another long. So this is the second 15-minute range break. So happy for it to pull back into this area and then have another run at that. If we're going to go for a trend today, if we're going to go for a range day, I'll just get stopped out. Certainly seems wiki out there at the moment. Diamond, if we're going long, I mean, we feel pretty long to me already. If we're going long, yeah. Were you talking about the Nasdaq? Yeah, I mean, we are long, obviously, on the Nas, but what concerns me is the Dow. Yeah. So this is what I mean by divergence. We just made a new lower high on the Dow. Nasdaq, we have obviously not. So we've got divergence across the two indexes. This horrible thing, the only reason it's horrible at the moment is because I'm long, tends to be the one that's right, I find. Unless it manages to break that high, in which case then you would expect the Nasdaq. So what I would expect now, one or two things. If the Dow is going to run the highs, what we will see on the Nasdaq is an accumulation. And then when the Dow runs the highs, the Nasdaq will pop. Or the Dow is the one that's in control. This move is fake and the Nas is just going to collapse and undo the whole lot. As this comes down, this will get dragged. You have to think of it like this one's putting the brakes on, this one's overshot, has to do a U-turn late and then comes back, but they will both end up around about there at the same time, which means this comes down twice as fast as that one. But I just don't like the look of it. I should really pay much more attention to these divergences at the open, because it's quite easy to make money with them, but I don't. Too many strategies. Do you prefer to see hang on a second, Frank, I have a problem with the MA color ribbon indicator. It covers the other indicators on my chart. Right, so that is an annoying thing. So that is to do with the order your indicators are in. Yeah. So you will probably find if you open up your indicator list that the MA ribbon filled is down the bottom here somewhere. Yeah. So what you need to do, unfortunately, is start again with your template, and you have to add MA ribbon field early. There's a load order. I don't know why MA ribbon field does this, but I mean, it's just that way MT4 works. Something's got to be in the foreground and something's got to be in the background. If you put that on at the very last indicator, it will draw last and cover up everything else. What MT4 really needs is a Z index on the indicators, so that you could have an input, or in visualization, you could have a Z index. So you could give each a score from whatever you want, 0 to 100, and it will load the higher numbers last. And then you can change the Z index, but you can't. It just doesn't do it. So yeah, that's what you got to do. But there's no way, you can't. What you want to do is just drag this up. You can't. You've got to add it first. So what I would do is, if you go into your MA ribbon field on inputs, yeah, and save the set file. So MA ribbon 1, if you're using more than one MA ribbon, save that set file, yeah, and then you can take the indicators off, and do this for every indicator. So MA in color, you can't, so save MA in color, and just load them on in a different order. Fortunately, that's just all you can do. I found that out the hard way as well. I built a template up with loads of indicators on it, stuck MA ribbon in, and then it overrode everything. There's just no way of changing it. Just annoying. One Dow. Let's go. So yeah, as you can see, Dow is kind of trying, and all we're getting is accumulation on the NAS. So what we need is Dow here, and that to keep accumulating. And when the Dow breaks, that will pop. But we need, it's all down to the Dow. All we're doing at the moment is inside bars. So since that candle went in, we've just not really gone anywhere, have we? Thanks, but I tried changing the order with the MA ribbon first. That didn't work. Just one of those annoying things. Then put it in the other order, Frank. I might be wrong. It might be that you need MA ribbon at the end. I've got mine there, look. If you go onto the website and go into other indicators and templates and just download my template. All these indicators and my template are in here, and it all works fine. And it's all in that order. Market reversal alerts indicator is at the end, and so is ADR. So those are the only two you wouldn't have, because these are the paid ones. Everything else you will have in that folder. So you just add these two on after, and you should get exactly the same as me. And my chart on foreground, that's the only thing that can affect it. If you take chart on foreground, if you change that, obviously it goes like that. So you've got to have your chart on the foreground. Do that. Okay, Dow's having a run on the high. So hopefully we'll see that pop. It's either going to reject up here, isn't it, or it's going to pop. So let's see if we can get those liquidity run up here. See this like pop out the top really fast. No, not a lot there. There. Some limit orders triggering at the moment. It's not very... there we go. Got a bit more momentum now. Germond, sorry, where am I? God. Do you prefer to see divergences when coming into ADR? You will usually get it anyway. So if you look at the ADRs today, euro pound, that's the perfect one. So it's probably not the best example. Let's do the pound odd. So you will typically find there is divergence. There isn't on this one today either. It's going to prove me wrong today, isn't it? There we go. There's divergence. So yeah, you'll tend to find you get divergence most of the time. The reason being is because to get to ADR, quite often price is moving fast. That's the whole point of it. It's telling you that we've hit its average daily range, and to do that, we usually have to get to it fairly quickly. So you tend to get an RSI extension. As we then either go into an accumulation and wait for the reversal alert to come in, the RSI, the strength needed, yeah, if you think they're selling hard, selling hard, selling hard, selling hard, when you hit to ADR, buyers are starting to jump in because the sellers are getting tired. They're running out of steam. So what you tend to find is there's more relative strength in the buying than there is on the way down when you get down to ADR. So you get RSI moving up faster than price does. So you tend to get divergence. Personally, I don't really care if it's there or not. If it is there, it's another string to add to your bow. So yes, if you prefer it, use it. You can't go wrong with more confirmations. The more confirmations you have, so if you have an ADR hit and you have divergence, and you also happen to have that happening in a propulsion gap after an accumulation, you've got more ticks. The more ticks you've got, the more likely it is. We know that propulsion gaps act as support and resistance. Yeah, we know that breakouts act as support and resistance. We know that divergence helps. There isn't any there, but if there was, we know that divergence helps. We know ADR price is getting tired. If we've had an ADR hit after a massive move down, and then the next day we get an ADR hit, and price has not done any kind of profit take move, that's another tick. So you're just building a case. The more confluence you have of conditions, the stronger that trade idea is. So if you say, I am only going to take 5-star trades, I need to have a reversal alert, I need to have ADR hit, RSI has to be extended with divergence, and I need either a propulsion gap or a previous support resistance before I'll take a trade, do it. You'll take a lot less trades, but you'll probably find your strike rate will be a lot higher. And that comes down to the individual trader as to whether or not you can sit and be patient, which is what kills most people, patience. But yeah, divergence is obviously, divergence is well known, especially with RSI. A lot of people use it obviously with MACD, some people with stochastics and other things, but the difference between most oscillators and the RSI is actually showing you the strength of the market participants. So when you get to an area of exhaustion and you can see more strength coming in, I think the RSI has more credibility at levels of exhaustion, which is why I use it. Okay, so we've made the new high on the Dow. Nasdaq's proving me wrong now, isn't it? It's just not interested. Again, it's gone too fast, too hard. It's exhausted. Look. Run out of buyers. All the buyers are wanting to get out. They're becoming sellers. So now we need Dow to pull back and pop. And obviously give that a hand. Probably Microsoft and Apple, which are the cause behind correlation between the Dow and the Nasdaq. Apple aren't in the Dow. Oh, is it? I don't know. Don't know what that means. We don't often. No, the correlation is the reason you get correlated markets, stock indices, is because of sector purchasing. So you will have companies in multiple sectors in different indexes. That's why you get correlation. between the indices. They all do the same thing because a lot of this activity that you see are sector purchases. So they're buying the biotech sector. And the biotech sector will be in multiple indices, but it will also have subsidiary businesses which are in different indices. So if you use, for example, BMW, use the motor industry. So if there is a sector purchase going on in the motor industry, so they're buying up BMW, they're buying up General Motors, they're buying up Audi, whatever, Volkswagen Group. There will be a lot of microchip and semiconductor manufacturers that supply into those manufacturers, those BMWs, Volkswagens, etc. So they will get sector purchased as well, because if BMW's stock price is going up because of something it's announced, i.e. we're going to increase production, all the semiconductor guys that are sitting down in the manufacturing chain are all going to earn a lot more money. They've got to make a load more parts. And that's why you tend to see correlation. It's a very complicated thing, stock indices. There's a lot of moving parts. You know, S&P 5, you've got 500 moving parts in there, and each of those 500 moving parts has probably got 1,000 other businesses listed in the stock market, in the Russell 2000, for example, that are related to this move. All you need to know is they're correlated. And when you see one of them out of sync, you need to pay attention, because it means that there's probably going to be a strong move on one of them in one direction. It doesn't help you because you don't know which it's going to be, but you know that something's going to pop. And in this case today, thankfully, it was the Dow. But quite often you'll find it's actually the other way. The Dow's the one that's in control. Diamond, there's a Z order in the API. Odd they don't give you a way to set it. Is there? And I've never looked, to be honest. Odd they don't give you a way to set it via the UI. No. I'm not going to say anything nasty. MetaTrader, not the most forward-thinking organization in the world. They make very good software, but some things just aren't right, are they? David, please place the ribbon first and then add the moving averages. Make sure that you have foreground chart option selected. Yeah, I go and download my template. I think you'll be all right. It's just annoying. You know, I've got so many indicators in my template. They all play a part, but very few of them are actually active at the same time. You know, a lot of this stuff, like these MA ribbon fields, don't work on any other time frame but the 4 hour. So it's quite a complicated template with everything, and there's a lot of stuff that you know, can cause conflicts with itself. And just thought I'd close that one out, didn't I? So we are getting the bounce off of ADR on the pound US at the moment. Just having a look at all the US pairs. It's not a lot of strength in the US at the minute, which is good because obviously that helps the Nasdaq go. Nice reversal alert on US dollar yen. Euro pound's coming down fairly hard. Is that euro? Yeah, weak euro. Not a lot of strength in the US dollar over the last 3 months, no. No, we're reaching terminal velocity, I think, on the US. I think we've just and this is something we need to pay attention to as well. We've got another 0.75 basis points on that yet, but as we've got to that point, it's slowed down a lot, hasn't it? Since we got to sort of 3.5% on the interest rates, we kind of slowed down quite a lot. Inflation flattened out. So we need to be thinking of this, when we got things like the pound and the euro, especially. The euro is going to get to that sort of point as well at some point. CAD's already there. We've got the CAD interest rates on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. So they're only going up by 0.25% now. So I think we're seeing a little bit of a stagnation starting now. Ladder, getting tempted to take the NAS off. You say it's already an insane run, but look at it on the bigger picture. Oh, actually, no, you're right. Yeah, it's pretty close to ADR on it. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Look at that intraday run there. Yeah, 170 pips straight up. Yeah, we've pretty much done it, haven't we? Yeah, that's a serious move. So we got 330 out of that. 230. It is getting tired. So looking at where the Dow's headed. So the Dow, I mean, we haven't really got anything on the Dow until, I mean, it's absolute. This micro accumulation there for about an hour, where we are now, is literally it. There is absolutely nothing but clear space until 125 ADR. NASDAQ, we're in clear space. Right where we are right now is this basically is this down move before we slammed through that. That is literally the only resistance we've got until 150 ADR. So if this gets through this level, we could be on for a monster day today, but we are tapping straight into it now. Look. I mean, I can't lose, so I'm gonna let mine run. I can't lose. It's all locked in. Both my stops are here. That's my break even. So worst case scenario is I get some profit out. It's a shame. We seem to be getting really weird opening ranges at the minute. Not weird. They're just untradeable. Difficult to trade opening ranges at the moment. We're either getting absolutely huge opening ranges, like we had with the DAX this morning, and there's just nothing you can do with it, really, is there? It's just, it opens with such force and then undoes the whole lot. And there's literally, the market's got nothing left, is it? I'm glad I got out of that one. Market's shot. It's just got nothing left, so it doesn't go anywhere. What we really want is some nice tight opening ranges like that, where we can get a breakout on that. You know, that's what we make our money out of. The trend days from tight opening ranges. We're getting these fast ones at the minute, and they're really hard to trade. Nothing you can do with it. You just got to hold on and hope. You know, rockets take off, they don't stop. They run out of gas eventually, but that's what trading stops for. If this goes into an accumulation now, no problem at all. Do what it likes. Let me just see if the retail sentiment has updated itself. Just take a quick screenshot of this. And just refresh it. So we are 6/15, 19, 19, 21, 7, 17, 18, 20, 22, 22. So that's all updated. So hopefully the historical retail will be updated to 257. No. So that hasn't fixed that bug. That's very annoying. Thought I'd fix that. The numbers will be right. So euro US dollar is, what was it? Euro US dollar is 60.40 basically. So that's 30. Oh yeah, of course. I'm just. It's not that. It's not what I thought it was. That's annoying. Bugs. Where am I? Retail sentiment. Historical. $257. So that should update to 40. Sorry, what? Just clear the cache. I hate cache. I really wish you could not have cache. Trouble is, I can't get this page to load without cache because there's so much data on it. That's not updating at all, is it? 30, it says. Oh, no, it's right. 30. Yeah. What am I talking about? Idiot. Where am I getting 40 from? That's what it was. No, it was 25. Forget me. Ignore me. Ramblings of an idiot. David, I also noticed large opening ranges in the New York Open, so I backtested the EA using 1625 and 1630 candle as a range to see how it would work. And what was the results? So 1630 and 1635. 1625 and 1630. All right, yeah, sorry. So that 5-minute pre. So that would be that candle there. That candle there. You take the opening range of that, break of that. The problem is though, look, you would have been, yeah. I mean, there's a set file out there for the pre-market open, and it takes the first 15. So in this case, it would have taken that high and that low as your opening range. The problem is, dependent on how you use your stop loss, what happened in this particular case is it pushed up, you got in long, it came down, it stopped you out, you got in short, and it pushed back up. Then it stopped you out on the short, and you got in long again, and you'd have taken that. Happy days. So you're in this, lovely, but you've got 2 stop outs. That's what I found the problem with the pre-market is, because quite often, look at the DAX this morning. Yeah. If you'd have taken the pre-market on the DAX this morning, it would have been that candle there. So you would have basically got in short, got stopped out, and got in long. So you'd have had 1 stop out and 1, I don't know what the risk reward is on that. It's big, isn't it? 130, you'd have got 450 out of it. So yeah, but that strategy is a real scalp strategy. The danger is with this on a whipsaw day where you literally do that at the open, all you'll end up with is 4 to 6 losses in a row. So it'll work, but there are days when it just will get you destroyed. And I tested that pre-market. I mean, that pre-market set does work. Don't get me wrong, it does work. I didn't test a 5-minute pre-market though. I only tested the 15. So it's this one. No, that's no add on pre. This one. So this is the 15-minute pre-market. Return on drawdown 3.4. But you see what you get a lot of this stagnation. But I mean, equally, yeah, I mean that's quite a lot of stagnation. Look. Nice moves, a lot of stagnation. These big wins are like, this is, these are the days like today. You get an ADR. If you get an open and then it goes, right, I'm off to ADR, you're banking thousands, literally. Which is kind of why you want to have it running with, I mean, there's so many ways it makes money. But you kind of want to have it running. You want to have that pre-market 5-minute running on one account. Then you want to have the 5-minute opening range running with add-ons on another account. Then you want the 15-minute opening range running on another account. Because you don't know what type of day you're going to get. Some days, all 3 of them are just going to make a fortune. Other days, one of them's going to really get hurt. The other 2 are going to pay for that one. Other days, it's going to be a little bit hit and a little bit miss. If you get a choppy open like that, the pre-market is going to die. The 5-minute opening range is probably not going to do very well. The 15-minute opening range, you probably only get 1 trade. And then if New York opens hard, I'm assuming this is trading the DAX at the minute, it'll work very, very nicely, won't it? But these guys won't trade anymore because they'll have hit their max daily loss. There is no right or wrong. It's going to be very different every day. But that's what the back testing is for. This proves the long-term viability of the strategy. Regardless of how you do it, you will win based on the fact that there are more of those types of days than there are those. Stock indices trend more than they range, more than they chop, rather. So you have rotation days and you have trend days. There's more of those, and that's what the edge is. The fact that we know when the movement is coming and that we know the type of movement the market will produce. And that's what gives you the long-term edge on every single set. There's a few settings that don't work. But I've just picked 10 set files odd here out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of profitable set files I had. I just had to pick some. If you've done your own testing, you know it's difficult to pick one because there's so many. But I don't know. The month of November was not the best. No, and you'll have months of stagnation where it will just stagnate because it's just not the right conditions for that set file. But there'll be another set file that works an absolute dream. This is trading the second 15-minute. Yeah, so there's your first 15-minute, those 3 candles, and this is the second 15-minute, those 3 candles. So this is trading the second 15-minute breakout. Again, back testing I've done on the DAX with this didn't produce very good results. It was okay, it was profitable, but it wasn't amazing. But you couple it with the initial 15-minute. If you get a lovely day like this, you win twice. If you get a day where it goes like that and then it pulls back and goes the other way, this one goes break even. This one, opening range break to the downside, works, and you get an add-on down there. So there's I really like this set file, trading both of these. But quite often you've got quite big. So if you get like the DAX, if this would not work in the DAX this morning, because what would have happened is, because we did that, I would be stuck in this second 15-minute opening range pretty much the whole session. I'd probably still be in it now. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15. See, the second 15-minute opening range is there and there. It's almost the same, isn't it, as the first one? So I'd have been in short there, profit, back up. Short there, profit, back up. Ready to get in short there and short there. These types of days, but you've got to take it off down here. And again, I keep saying it, don't I? I'm not the sort of person that can easily just leave an EA sitting on an account to run. I want the EA to get me into the trades, but I want to use my judgment as to whether or not I think, yeah, double bottom. If I see that happening on a double bottom, I'm out. Which makes my back testing kind of redundant, doesn't it? If I'm using my own brain to trade with it, but it's just nice to have it all done for you. Aussie dollar yen ADR. See, Naz is running out of steam here as well. Kind of makes me want to take this off. I'm going to push my stops up just above. So this buy obviously is there. That's all locked in. This buy is now break even. We've got this propulsion gap to help. But we've also got this whacking great target to aim for. So I'd rather stop out, break even on it. The second one. Aussie dollar yen. So we've got an ADR hit on Aussie yen. Again, with all these yens, you've got to kind of take it with a pinch of salt with these, because obviously the inflation, the interest rates, they don't change. So buy from a retail sentiment perspective. Yeah. Again, retail sentiment. Yeah. Aussie dollar yen. %78% of market participants are short. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful buy this morning, wasn't it? Missed it. So do you want to take that ADR short? Probably not. And let's look at, actually, this would be a really good one to look at from a historical perspective. Aussie dollar yen. Pound, euro, yen. Where are we? Aussie dollar yen. So going back to the 18th. So 18th, we had 50% of the market were long. Moving up into the 19th of January, we had over 75% of the market long. So you wanted to be shorting it on the 19th, really. And then since then, they've been exiting their long positions and flipping short. So all retail have been basically, since the 19th, they've been hitting the sell button. That's the 19th. So what did I say on the 18th? On the 18th, they were short. They were long. Yeah. So on the 18th, they were going long. Market came down. And on the 19th, they started flipping their positions into shorts. Market rallied. This is why I wanted to get this data stored, because it's not that I don't trust other websites or other people. I just don't trust other websites or other people. I just wanted this data stored on my own because I know how I've got this data. I know where this data's come from, and I'm storing this data myself, so I know it's 100% accurate by the hour. And I just wanted to basically just prove it to myself in a little bit more of a convincing manner, and just to see obviously what happens. Very few people on Swiss yen were long on the 20th. Yeah, they were all short on the Swiss yen on the 20th. Market's gone long because they're all short. It's heading for their liquidity. They're short liquidity. They're short liquidity. They're short. Where's their liquidity? Are they still short though? Yeah, they are. 75% of the market is long at the moment on the Swiss yen. Sorry, other way. 75% of the market is short on the Swiss yen. Hence it's popping. Still moving on the Dow. Not quite as convincing now, is it? Still let that run, I think. Right. I've not really got anything else to cover today. I've covered everything. So banked 0.7 today. Not bad. 0.5% a day is kind of ideal. So we'll see how this does, but it is getting a bit tired now. We have still got a lot of room though to the upside on the Dow. So and Nasdaq's really got free reign above it. The only thing that's stopping us at the moment is we're getting up to ADR. So we are getting to the point where we've put a decent move in so far today. So there is still potential upside. So I'm just going to let this trail. I think where we are at the moment. So I'm going to adjust my. I am 40. So I'm just going to keep my trail at 40 points basically. So which is pretty much where we are. So if we continue to push up, I will just basically trail with price and just wait to get taken out as it comes down. We'll see how far it can go. Market will go where the market wants to go. Just because it's going to hit ADR soon doesn't mean it's going to stop necessarily, does it? We might have a 150 ADR today, which would be very nice. And everything else I'm just going to leave on at the minute. Euro Swiss is just Aussie Swiss has just hit ADR as well. Again, all these Swiss francs, we're very weak Swiss franc at the minute. Euro Swiss is pushing up a little bit more again, but I'm going to leave that on as well. Again, market's short Euro Swiss. Pushing up. So if everyone's short, that's where they're going to need to go to get their orders filled. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, come in the Telegram group. I will still continue to work on this stupid caching problem I've got. One other solution I've got for this retail sentiment caching problem is to break this historical retail sentiment down into individual currencies, basically. So rather than having it plotted like this, having it plotted individually. Wow, what was that? What pair's that? Pound New Zealand. Something gone wrong with Pound New Zealand, isn't it? Oh, hello. We're missing some data. There we go. Yeah, this is scripts running at the same time. I'm just going to fill that in with we've got two versions. I've got scripts running basically to get rid of duplicates as well. I've got lots of scripts running basically. This is all in development, all of this. And I'm finding that there's conflicts in my scripts which are causing problems. So I am working all of these. I'm just having to work through them all basically and streamline the process. But it's mainly just trying to get it working. So that will fix that problem, whatever that was. There's another one missing there. That was a New Zealand dollar Swiss, wasn't it? Yeah, it's the same one, that one. All right. Aussie dollar CAD ADR. So it looks like we've got a very strong Australian dollar at the moment. So Aussie dollar Swiss potentially. Yeah. Market is short, so not sure about that one as a short up there. More likely to go into an accumulation on that one. We are extended on the RSI on the 5-minute and the hourly. I'd rather wait for this one to get up. 125 ADR, between that and 150 ADR. Somewhere in there is probably not a bad first entry, because if it doesn't come off of there straight away and you can get out, it's highly likely to find some limit orders up at the highs, which are the highs of the month so far, and get a bounce off of that. So you can take a first entry and a second entry, but I'd wait on that one. Wait, obviously, for some signs of weakness. You're not going to get on that for a while, actually, because it's such a big, strong move. You're not going to get the reversal alert until you're over, well, nearly half an ADR down. So that's not really worth taking that one, is it? Right, I'll leave it there. Anything you need, I'll be in the Telegram group. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time. Trade the DAX again, have a look at the market, see what's going on, see if there's any new opportunities to get into anything. But the EA is going to be getting me in anyway, so I will just be managing what I've got on at the moment and just banking as I need to. But if you need anything, let me know. I will be in Telegram, and hopefully have a profitable afternoon, and hopefully see you in the morning, 7:50. Right, have a good one.